Monsanto is one of the world's largest agricultural biotechnology firms. In fact, Monsanto and its two main competitors, DuPont and Syngenta, own nearly 50% of the global seed market, the majority of which are genetically modified seeds. But as CCTV's Cui Lingnan found out, a growing number of consumers and farmers are outraged by what they're calling Monsanto's corporate control of global agriculture.
These protesters were not alone. They were joined by a reported 2 million people worldwide who took to the streets on a global day of action to protest genetically modified food, or GMOs, and the biotech giant Monsanto, which produces genetically engineered seeds.
What I want is a ban of GMO, genetically modified organisms, from our food and seed supply. We would like to have a worldwide ban. A label would be a start.
Grassroots activists are calling for an international ban on the cultivation of genetically modified crops and the foods derived from them, even though most scientific studies conducted so far have found foods containing genetically modified ingredients to be safe.
Biotech traits are some of the most highly scrutinized technologies that scientists have produced and contributed for the benefit of society. So, yes, these technologies are safe.
But pictures like this, lab mice that develop tumors after being fed genetically modified grains, have led some people to question the long-term impact of consuming genetically modified food.
In Japan, they said we're going to watch America's children for 10 years before we make this widespread. And that's telling. It's very scary. If we're their guinea pigs, I didn't sign up for that.
Once a chemical maker, Monsanto has come to dominate the global seed market over the past 2 decades. A $58 billion multinational corporation with field offices in 60 countries, the company says it has a vision for sustainable global agriculture.
It's a vision that strives to meet the needs of a rapidly growing population.
Monsanto has genetically engineered its seeds to be resistant to the herbicides that farmers use to ward off disease and weeds, herbicides that are also produced by Monsanto. The genetic modifications also destroy the seed's reproductive systems, meaning farmers have to come back to Monsanto every year to purchase new seeds. Critics say this creates a monopoly that leaves farmers at the mercy of the biotech corporations.
This is the puppet that we made. It's called the Monsatan. To protest Monsanto, they're probably one of the most evil corporations out there. So many American farmers are under attack because of their policies and the way they're basically sending their killer seeds onto their land, and then actually taking the farmers' land because they have a copyright on the seeds.
CCTV contacted Monsanto for a statement but did not receive a reply. But the impact of the company's policies have been very real for organic farmers in the United States. Under current U.S. laws, organic farmers are responsible for keeping genetically modified seed varieties out of their fields. Failure to do so puts farmers in violation of patent laws and exposes them to a potential lawsuit from Monsanto. And the farm could lose its organic certification if the contamination exceeds 5% of the entire crop. In 2012, Monsanto was the world's biggest supplier of vegetable seeds by value, selling over $800 million worth of seeds. The company claims that their products can help farmers produce more foods using fewer natural resources. But organic farmers here in Maryland and all over the world are taking a stand against what they called a corporate overreach. Ali Muhadir is a satellite communication engineer and an organic farm owner in Maryland.
We situated here.
He built a germination room to prevent his crops from being contaminated by the GM crops growing on neighboring farms, hoping to ensure the quality of his organic produce.
We have successfully avoided to stay away from any modified seeds. And we produce 98% of our own seed year to year.
Muhadir predicts that customer backlash against Monsanto and GMOs will be a hot topic for years to come, as most of his customers are young people who are concerned about what they put into their bodies.
We have 2 times more of the young families local here to the farm subscribing at the premium price and buying the fresh stuff than the people in the big cities.
For now, genetically modified foods seem to be here to stay. In 2012, for the first time, GM crops cultivated in developing countries exceeded those grown in developed countries. Cui Lingnan, CCTV, Washington.